YouTube, welcome back. Okay, so this is part 2 of 2010. Let's get back to it. All right, so Brother Mateen, the brother staying in Hamtramck, he told me to come up to his house, came up there, and he had a nice selection of oils on his dresser, right? So the brother, he let me smell them. One thing that caught my eye is that he had Jonathan Fedos, a sweeter version of Jonathan Fedos, okay? Or some people call it Jonathan Ferdos, okay? This sweeter version came from a company called Swiss Arabian, okay? Swiss Arabian. Now I was introduced to the Jonathan Fedos before by a brother named Rasul back in 2008 or 7, okay? When I was standing at the halfway house, Brother Rasul, you know, he was the one to introduce me to it from the Wali Muhammad Mosque, okay? Me and him, we used to go swimming together, right? So, anyhow, but his version of it, Rasul, it was stronger. It was stronger and had that kick, right? And it had that ting to it, you know what I mean? That's the one that he had, but the one that Mateen had was sweeter. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, there's many different variations of the same scent, okay? And here it is now. I got 10 different variations of Egyptian musk, right? Now, another thing that happened, now this is where it's going to get interesting, very interesting, okay? Remember that brother Saud I was telling you about? I went to 7 Days West to go get my oils from Yasser, the one I was telling you about Yasser. I'm going to go get some oils from Yasser. And Yasser, I wanted to go re-up because Yasser told me when you sell out of the 4 ounce, come and you can re-up and you can come and refill. Hey, how you doing this morning?
I'm gonna see you when I definitely gotta see you when I come back.
All right. So he said, you know, you can refill, you know, when you could run out of the 4 ounce, come to me and I'll refill it for free. All, you know, until you get back on your feet. So, let me see, losing track here. Yeah, so I went there and Brother Saul was there. So when Brother Saul left, you know, it was talking about like Brother Saul, you know, he had a lot of different people around the city working for him with the oils. And what he would do is he would make these, the dram roll-ons like this right here. The dram roll-ons, he would pre-fill them, put a label on them, right? And he would give a person that he trusted a certain amount of freight, maybe 20, right? And he'll give them a certain amount of time to actually repay him or to pay him, right? So a certain day he'll come and to be paid and he'd go and say, hey, listen, you know, even if they didn't sell out, you still got to pay. And that's very similar to the dope gang, you see? So I took note of that, so I said, you know what, I'm going to start incorporating that. And years later, I actually incorporated that, and I'm going to talk more about that in detail, you know, as we go along in time. Okay, now, so as you see, everybody played a part, man, in developing this system that I call Sunnah Aroma Academy. Now, this is another thing that happened, okay? Back in 2008, right, in the winter, actually when I was living in those Brother Bashar apartments, okay, I was introduced to a scent. No, I was walking in Hamtramck and there was a Bengali store, right? They sold groceries. And right before, you know, you check out, they had some oils right there. How y'all doing this morning? All right. So you had the oils there, and so it was one oil that caught my eye. The name of it was musk, just musk. So it came from a company that I'm familiar with, right? And so, but I never seen this specific one from that company. So what I did was I bought it. I like the way it smelled. I'm a big fan of musk. I put it on. It's a perfect wintertime fragrance, but it's good for the whole year. But in the wintertime, it's perfect, man, because I bought it that winter. I put it on, rubbed it on. Everybody was like, man, what you got on? Man, what you got on? Man, what you got on? The Yemenis, I'm going to tell you something about the Yemenis. Yemenis, they love strong scents. They're accustomed to strong scents, like the oud and the misk and the musk, right? The strong, they don't like subtle scents. They don't like the subtle scents. So that's when I was introduced to that. But here it is. Now this goes back to the story that I'm actually about as a point of reference. Went over to my cousin's house on the west side named JaVale, right? My little cousin. So went over to JaVale's house. Haven't seen JaVale in a long time. So me and JaVale, you know, I went upstairs. JaVale, he had this little video game up there. JaVale's a grown man, but you know, had this video game up there. He was like, you know, play the game with myself. All right, cool, not a problem. When I walked inside of the room, he had a cat. I had wore the musk that day. When I walked in the room, the cat hunched their nose up like this. Hey, what's up, Chris? Oh, yeah. All right. So the cat, what it did is it hunched his nose up like this. And it did like maybe 4 or 5 sniffs. And the cat, when it sniffed, the eyes started to trail where the scent was coming from, and the cat looked at me. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting, man, how that cat was able to follow the scent and detect exactly where it was coming from. So that's a story about that. Now let's continue. It's a lot of scattered stories. I'm just giving you the main parts of the story. All right. One morning after Fajr, I was coming from Meshik Hazada, right? Meshik Sadat al-Fajr. The early morning prayer that comes in like back then, 6 o'clock in the morning. So every day after 6 o'clock, after I made Fajr prayer, I would go to this place called Memorial Park. And I would just sit there, right? And just contemplate, right? And so what I would do every morning, I would put oil on before I would go pray. So when I went there, I prayed, and then I went and I sat on the bench at Memorial Park. The brother named Murad, Yemeni brother named Murad, he came and he walked in the park to go and take a little walk and get exercise. And he saw me. So when he approached me, he said, brother, whatever you got on, he said, brother, I can smell that scent from all the way back there. And it seemed like where he was pointing was like 50 feet away. And I was wearing the frankincense and myrrh. So that goes on to let me know, hey, how you doing? All right. So that just goes on to show me that I found out then that also frankincense and myrrh had a trail, and not necessarily thick fragrances have a trail. See, what I thought was any scent, that all scents that were thick, they give a trail. But also there is some scents that they're not thick. 7 minutes, okay. There are some scents that are not thick that also gives a trail. So that's when I found it out. All right, so now here's this is another story. Hey, how you doing this morning?
How you doing?
All right. Now here's another story. Okay, let me see. Okay, I ran into a brother named Hashim, okay? Ran into a brother named Hashim. And brother Hashim, I didn't want to say his name, it just came out. Yemeni brother. Brother told me one day, he said, because he saw I was selling oils, right? And he said, hey man, stop selling those oils because they ain't no good. Now, obviously, of course, I didn't listen to him because customers have already told me that my oils is good. But he said, stop selling those oils. That oil stuff ain't no good. I found out why he said that. The reason why he said that is because the Yemeni brothers are accustomed, as I said, to strong scents. Oud, and I'm talking, when I mean musk, misk means musk in Arabic, okay? When I mean musk, I'm talking about the very strong one, the strong type of musk. Those are the ones that they're accustomed to, right? Those are the ones that they like. They don't like the subtle ones, okay? One day I did a test, and I actually had Egyptian musk brother said, you got some oils? I said, yeah, Yemeni brother. So he was like in his 60, 50, close to 60. I rubbed it on his wrist. The brother smelled it. I'm talking about a good quality of Egyptian musk. So the brother, he said, I don't smell nothing. Rubbed it on him again. He said, I don't smell nothing. And I was like, why this brother don't smell it? I smell it. The reason why is because their nose is accustomed to very strong scents. Anything that's strong, they consider it's not even a smell, okay? Now, how's it going, Joe? Now, let's go to 2011. This is about to start getting really interesting, man. All right, so 2011. All right. Okay, so now in 2011, I'm gonna tell you what happened one day. I was walking to Hamtramck selling my oils, and there was a Bengali brother in front of a store called A&C, grocery store. Walked in front of the grocery store, selling my oils, and a Bengali brother, I rubbed it on. See, Bengalis, they love oils too. I rubbed it on his wrist. It was real strong. It was a scent called, matter of fact, I forgot to mention this as well. In 2010, I came up with a scent called Izzy Red. Izzy Red, okay? It was a hit. It was a hit, one of my top sellers. So, Bengali brother, I rubbed it on his wrist, very strong. I know Bengalis like strong scents as well. So I rubbed it on his wrist. The brother rubbed it in, he smelled it. And he said, I walked away. And I'm going to tell you who taught, Ali Mustaqim taught me that, by the way. He taught me that technique. You know, how to deal with the Bengalis. You know, you rub it on them and you walk away as if they're not going to buy it. So, one time, matter of fact, one time, Brother Ali Mustaqim, he rubbed the scent on the brother. Imports, they love imports. Rubbed the scent on the brother, and he turned his back and, hey, how you doing now? He turned his back and he looked at me, and he said, he turned his back and he looked at me, and he said, brother, tell me if they're actually watching. So I looked at them, and they was, you know, they were smelling the wrist, and they was actually watching at the moment. So, but they try to, you know, they try to give him a cheaper price. So, but back to the story. Brother tried to get it to me for $1. Okay? He said, listen, brother, I give you $1 for the Izzy Red, okay? So I told him, I said, no, I can't give it to you for $1. I said, no, I said, that's a crackhead price. I'm not giving it to you for $1. Okay? Either you're gonna pay the $5 for it, or I just can't sell it to you. That's what I told him, okay? Now, another interesting story, okay? One of the stories, I was walking around Hamtramck, and I walked up the street in Hamtramck, and there was a lady. This lady, she was on the porch, summertime too. Rubbed it on her, I gave her, I think it was Ed Hardy for the women, rubbed it on her wrist. She said, oh, it smelled good. And this lady, she was blown, man. She was high. She was gone. And so I had the red and white fashadda on my head, tied up, you know, like the way the Saudi Arabians wear, and I had the white thobe. And she was like, and I always had my beard looking shiny and fresh. So she said, oh, she said, hey, that smell good. She said, you a sexy mother, You know what I mean? And she said, don't make me lift up that overgarment, that garment that you're wearing, and she was under there. I don't know what that scent did to her. I don't know if that scent made her want me. I don't know, but everybody on the porch is cracking up laughing, man. All right, ready for me?
Not yet.
Okay. OD. All right. You all right this morning?
Oh yeah, I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Pretty good, sir. All right.
Where do I go? How you doing?
All right, so let me see. It's 13 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna stop at 15. Okay. I may need to make it part 3. Now, also, this is another thing that happened. Now, here it is. The month of Ramadan had just approached. So in the month of Ramadan, what happened? It was a couple brothers hanging together. How y'all doing this morning? It was me, Brother Hassan, okay? Me, Brother Hassan, Ali Mustaqim, a brother named Ali Mustaqim, and I already told you guys about him. Ali Mustaqim. Who else? Brother Mikael, African American Muslim brother named Mikael, and Yemeni brother named Yusuf. Beautiful brother, man. Good brother. Okay? Somebody else, man. Man. Me, Abdul Qudus, Brother Mikael, Brother Hassan, and the Yemeni brother. I think that was it. Those 5 right there. So anyhow, you know, it's time to break fast. And I'm going to tell you, first let me tell you something about Brother Abdul Qudus. Brother Abdul Qudus, the brother, is 2 beautiful stories about him. One is that he is a big fan of Jannat al-Mawa, okay? Jannat al-Mawa, M-A, the last name, M-A-W-A, Mawa. This brother loved, I'm going to have to make a part 3.